The reforms are absolutely waiting on the rate change to implement. They can't implement the reforms without changing the rate. They're telling you the rate change itself is very clearly waiting and has been waiting this entire year on these provincial elections. Al-Sudani congratulates the winners of the local elections and invites them to interact with his government's plans. From a member, I went into my local Chase bank to withdraw some cash and the teller asked me if I would wait one moment. I asked her if everything was all right with my account and she said yes. Moments later, the bank manager approached me and introduced herself. She took me to her office and asked me if I still had the Vietnamese dong that I had purchased. I told her yes. She smiled and shook my hand and said she looks forward to doing business with me very soon. Mark Z. I'm sure the teller had a notice flash on her screen telling her this customer purchased foreign currency. IMF expresses optimism about non-oil financial growth in Iraq. This is a major must for Iraq. They need non-oil financial growth. They can't get to this fast enough. They can't get this to grow quick enough. The fact they rely so much on oil is going to hurt them instead of benefit them. If oil prices fall, they're back to square one and they'll start devaluing the Iraqi dinar if they can't find alternative to generate revenue for the state. IMF staff concludes staff visit with Iraq. From the IMF, from the horse's mouth. Gives permission to pull the financial linchpin on the grenade of the monetary reform. Will we see this before Christmas? Mark Z. We don't know, but most of my contacts say we will. I like the idea that from the 20th to the 25th, isn't that a good time to bring forth a new exchange rate? Why? Because they've only used 20% of their budget all year. That's insane. What are you waiting for? New exchange rate. You say you're going to use the other 80% from the 20th to the 25th? What did you tell the citizens of Iraq is going to happen on the 1st of January 2024? They can't use any other currency. What are they going to use? Rocks to buy things with? Shoot, rocks are probably more valuable than the used toilet paper that you got right now. The 20th to 25th is logical, the 1st onward is logical. The United States have signed off on everything and threw the ball to the IMF. Now everything is in the hand of the IMF. The World Bank, Treasury, CBI, all met. This how it's going to go now as soon as they delete all the dollars from Iraq. Things going to change. IMF staff concludes staff visit with Iraq. They met with Iraq authorities in Amman, Jordan on the 17th to discuss recent economic developments. They are not worried fiscally about Iraq and things are coming along nicely. Quote, inflation has declined from its January peak and is projected to stabilize in the coming months. Helped by the Central Bank of Iraq's, CBI, tighter monetary policy, pass-through from the exchange rate revaluation. They are telling us what they are doing. Iraq links Baghdad U.S. embassy attackers to security services. The attacks against U.S. forces have continued.